Excellent, great. Do you want to go next? And if anybody else would like to, any other takers? Okay, you go next. All right, great.
Thank you.
You have to enable screen sharing.
Yeah, it's showing a different screen. How do I send this up or down? Okay, maybe I should just. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm having some problems seeing the screen. Um, but yeah, hey everyone. Um, my name is Great. I'm here to talk about like the state of Fablo. Yeah, thanks for having me. Okay, so what is Fablo? So Fablo basically allows you move from one config file to a running Hyperledger Fabric network. So you have a config, you could set up what Fabric version you want to run, the channel names, total number of peers, orderers, and so many configurable options. And just do a Fablo up, and you get a full Hyperledger Fabric network running. So this is very optimized for when you have local setups, where you're trying to test different Fabric versions, for example, Fabric 2, Fabric 3. Um, Also trying to test different configurations. Like let's say you have five orderers, six peers, but this is very well optimized for local setups. And as you can guess, it's also well optimized for CI, in cases where you're trying to run an integration test, for example, where you have to spin a Hyperledger Fabric network. Um, Simple enough, just define some stuff on your config, run a fablo.sh hub, and you have a fully functioning network running. And very also well optimized for when you have to like reproduce bugs. For example, let's say there's a bug in Fabric and you want Fabric 2 and you're trying to confirm if that same bug exists in Fabric 3, you could, test different Fabric versions and, do very reproducible stuff. Um, so yeah, even outside the config, you are able to take snapshots of like the Hyperledger Fabric network with Fablo and also like restore it with Fablo. Um, you could spin multi-orgs, multi-channel setups, and test different topologies like 2 out of 3, 12 out of 16, and so forth and so on. um yeah, so currently this is a proof of life. These are currently the people involved in Fablo. Jacob is involved, myself, and we had two mentees from LFX this year. uh yeah, Daniel and Osama. So what have we been up to? Like I said, we had two mentees from LFX. These two mentees basically worked on most of the features that you see here. Daniel worked on supporting chain code, that CCAS, chain code as a service. And we also support like peer dev mode in Fabric Trade. So peer dev mode is basically hot reload. When you are working with a chain code on Fabric, you are trying to make changes, right? We have a feature called peer dev mode where you'll be able to like hot reload your chain code without having to do much. And we also like, worked on feature parity between Fabric 2 and Fabric 3. We also like added a new feature, post start hooks, So when Fablo has spun up a network, right, there are some actions you want to happen immediately after the spin up. So you could do that with hooks, for example. And we made several improvements and also like bug fixes here and there. So yeah, that's what we have been up to recently. Uh, yeah. So what are we looking at in the future to support? One of them is to like improve how the developer experience with CCAS. We are looking for someone opened the issue recently about like having CCAS working as an external server where they will be able to like run a debugger in VS Code. Um, yeah, we also have some tooling depth here and there. Uh, right now, Fablo is template based, but we are looking at other options like using Oakleaf. Oakleaf is a library, a CLI library, and yeah, we supported Kubernetes at a point because right now Fablo works on Docker, purely Docker. At some point in 2022, we worked on Kubernetes support, and I worked on that myself. And it's very experimental right now, but we are looking to see if this is something that we're going to pick back up eventually. And also, Fabric X, it seems like one of the latest, hottest things in town these days. So there are discussions, if we could support Fabric X. So that is something we are looking into. Yeah. So what do I want from you? I think you should try Fablo out and tell us what you think. If something isn't right or you feel like this could be better or even like a pain that you experience while working with Fablo or spinning stuff up, just let us know. And yeah, that is going to be it for me. And yeah, if you want to try Fablo, it's as simple as using the commands you see right here. This is basically going to spin up a Hyperledger Fabric network on your local. So yeah, thank you. Uh, so yeah, 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 okay, no, there is no Docker and Docker. So what happens when you like define the configs is that we first there's two called Fabric tools, right? It was deprecated, but we also like maintain our version of it. So when you spin up a network with Fablo, we pull down all of these Hyperledger Fabric versions. Like for the Fabric version you specified, for example, 3.0, right? Then we use Fabric tools to do all of the connect to this peer, install this chain code, commit, approve. All of those steps are done within a Docker container, like with the binary. So we don't use Docker in Docker at all. And yeah, like this is a if this is a use case for you, I worked at Gala Games, and Gala Games is probably running the biggest Hyperledger Fabric network around, and we use Fablo for CI, and it works really really well. So if it's something you are trying to explore, yes, it works very well. And if you have any issue, just shoot me an email or anything, and I'll be happy to help. Yeah, and Also, for full disclosure, I was LFX mentee in 2022. Yeah, and so I was an LFX mentee for Fablo, and I stayed with the project ever since. It's been 4 years now, and yeah, we've always been here. Thank you.
Yeah. And yeah, a great example of somebody who started through the mentorship and then stayed as well. That's great to see.